Welcome to another installment of Ama Fama. I'm sure you are aware of the saying, Watinta bafazi, watinti mpogodo. We are celebrating all those women farmers out there, the people who are responsible for us having food on our table. In studio today, we have Sophy, and she farms with vegetables. But you know what? Let her do all the talking. Welcome, Sophy.
Thank you. How are you?
I'm fine, and you?
I'm good, thanks.
Love the pink.
Thank you.
One thing I appreciate about you guys, you farmers, hey, you show out when you come here, eh? Yeah, but you guys show out, bruh. Like that other lady, one time she came wearing like a pink beanie and Adidas tracksuits.
Because we are always dirty.
I didn't say that, though. Okay. So, Sophie, tell us, introduce yourself and tell us what do you do and where you're from.
Okay, my name is Sophy Musabeni. I was born in Limpopo. I grown up there in Limpopo. Then after I finished matric, then I have to come to Johannesburg and then I started seeing.
Where in Limpopo did you grow up?
Venda. I'm from Venda, down there next to Messina.
Ah, that's a very nice place, very nice place. Nice and warm.
Nice and warm, especially in winter.
Yeah, and then you decide to come here in the frost.
Yes.
So, Sophie, tell us, what did you do before you became a farmer?
Okay, I was a nurse. I worked for Mediclinic Group for 10 years. Yeah, as a professional nurse.
10 years as a nurse?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so my brain is starting to go zzz. You worked 10 years in the medical profession?
Yes.
And then what happened? How did you end up in farming?
Okay, back then when I was young, my father divorced my mother. So the situation was very bad when we moved from my father's place and then we go to stay with my mother. So then I didn't like to wash the dishes and doing this all household work. So the elder sister, she was the one who was very good in cooking and doing the other stuff. So myself, I wanted to help my mother because she was a nurse, also my mother, but those who are just taking BP and the temperature at the clinic. And by that time, she was also studying at the university. So the money was not enough for supporting 5 kids. So I started the small garden at home, and then I started selling vegetables around the community. So after that, I went to high school. So when I was in high school, then I was supporting my sisters with that money. So I end up going to selling where my father used to work. It's a mine. So when I was selling at the spa, then the white man come to me and said, please, Sophie, don't sell your spinach outside. Bring it inside the shop. That's when I saw it, okay, here I'm making a killing. I'm making a lot of money. So after school, I'm going to go and harvest, let's say 500 bunches. Then I take it to the spa. So that's how I started farming that time. Then my mom, she said, Sophie, you are making a lot of money. When you won't study. So please go and study. So then I didn't have any plan of studying. Didn't want to be a doctor. I wanted to be a farmer since that time. Yeah, then I just said, okay, Mama, I'm going to be like you. I'm going to study nursing. So that's how I started farming.
So from nursing to agriculture, tell me a little bit about that transition. How was it like?
When I was busy working in the medical field, I saw and most of our South African people, they are not eating a proper meal. So that means that dream that I had before is still gonna work. I'm the one who's gonna rescue South Africa here because I'm good in producing vegetables. So while I was still working as a nurse, then I started to look a farm around Johannesburg to lease. So then I started to fund that farm while I'm still working. So even some of my colleagues, they didn't understand when I'm buying baggy. I'm a nurse, but I'm buying baggies.
So other nurses were coming there with proper cars. And
yes, with baggy. Then I'm gonna start producing while I'm still working as a nurse. I'm going to go to the farm and fill the bakkie, and I come and pack my bakkie in the basement. Early in the morning, I go and deliver the product. Then I go and sleep. Usually I like to work night shift because I know during the day I'm gonna be at the side.
At the side,
yeah, until I made a good profit. Then I resigned.
Sure. So let's talk about your operation.
Okay.
Okay. So tell me a little bit about what do you particularly farm, and also where is your operation based?
Okay. I'm operating at Boksburg, Mapilton, next to Fos Loras. Yeah, that's where I leased the farm, and that's where I bought my own farm.
And the farm in Limpopo?
The farming in Limpopo, it started when I'm having a challenge of frost here in Johannesburg because I wanted to supply non-stop to my client. So then I remember, no man, that time when I was young, I used to produce vegetables in winter, not in summer. That means I must go and try in Limpopo in winter, sorry. And then it really, really works for me to supply all year around.
What vegetables do you grow?
Okay, I grow many vegetables according to a growing program. So I supply my vegetables to the airport. I supply my vegetables to the processing companies. I supply my vegetables to spas, meat choices, roots, just to name the few. So those people, they give me a growing program. I don't just go and plant. I've got a growing program. Let's say they're going to say, okay, Sophie, in winter we want baby marrow, because like as I speak now, I'm proudly say I'm the only person who's supplying baby marrow in Johannesburg, because even those companies that they used to sell, they used to tell me that, Sophie, when you are not complying with, they need global gap, and by that time I didn't have global gap. But now, because there's a shortage of vegetables, they're gonna say, Sophie, bring it's fine, even if you don't have. So yeah.
So the farm in Limpopo looks like it's actually serving its purpose, because now
Yes.
Your demand, you always keep up with your demand because you always have something to deliver.
Yes.
But then again, everything has a disadvantage and an advantage. Okay. So what is the advantage of having two farms, ne? And the disadvantage also?
The advantages of having two farms in a different provinces, it's climate change. When we get frost here in Gauteng, that means in Limpopo, I'm still right. I can still grow crops in Limpopo. The disadvantage is, if the product is coming from Limpopo, Limpopo is too far. So I drive 700 kilometers to come to Johannesburg, because all my markets are here in Johannesburg. So you can imagine the fuel that I spent. And also the labor.
And the toll gates.
And the toll gates. So that make me to put the price higher. But I'm lucky because I'm producing in winter, where most of the farmers here in Johannesburg, they are not producing. So whatever I brought here in Johannesburg, it's going to be sold out.
Now let's talk about something which is quite a bit of a thorn in everybody's ribs, and which is land.
Okay.
How big is your land, and also how much land do you need in order to keep up with your demand?
Okay, the way I'm getting lots of clients, and I already opened my own processing company. So now in Johannesburg, I'm operating on 25 hectares. 15 hectares is the one that I leased, and 10 hectares is the one I bought. So I need like about 300 hectares under vegetables.
300?
Yes.
And you are on 25?
5 years.
That's a lot of land that you need. Yo, it's like, okay.
Yeah, so.
It's like, but 300?
300 under vegetables.
Oh my goodness. So, okay, so...
because it becomes so difficult to share those vegetables that I have in the field with all my clients that I have. Some of my clients, they end up not getting some vegetables because now the size of the farm is too small.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
So when I talk about irrigation, I need to use center pivot.
Yeah, no, you have
irrigation, yes.
And you need land for that.
I need land for that.
I'm still...
And there is land for that. It's just that that's where we're gonna need our new minister to focus on
Speaking
it.
of the new minister, sorry to cut you off. Speaking of the new minister, every farmer that I speak to, have got something to say about him.
Yes.
Fine. Which is understandable. I mean, it's a new person, you understand. We're used to one particular person having their methods and their systems in place. So now we have a new minister.
Okay.
What exactly would you want him to actually tackle first when it comes to agriculture?
The new minister, I would like him to come on the ground. He must be with us. He must know his farmers. It's not everyone. I cannot say it's not everyone. Yes, most of black people, they want to be farmers, but it's not everyone who's a farmer at the moment. So I think I would say he must start with us who are really on the agricultural sectors, who are facing those challenges of land. Because we really need land. And if he's up there, he won't see much of our challenges. He must come down with us. I was even myself, I'm already started writing a letter for him to come and visit my site, because I want him to be down with us and listen to us, to our challenges that we are having.
Yeah, because a lot of farmers that I talk to, this thing of leasing is not working.
No, it's not working. Like now, it was necessary, but for me, because I started by leasing, and now I want to divert to agro-processing. I want to add value to my crops. So I cannot develop a leased farm. I must develop what is mine. So leased farm, they've got their own rules. And that sometimes it's disadvantage my operation. Yeah. So leased farm, sometimes it's a problem.
And also another problem which a lot of farmers are faced with is funding.
Yes, funding.
Funding is also a problem because just before we tackle into that, you have a pack house now. You developed a pack house.
Yes, I have a pack house.
Tell me a little bit about that. What was that process like?
The pack house that I have, I built it from scratch myself.
With your own money?
Yes, with my own money, from my pocket. Because now Checkers or Freshmark, they had to come and visit my site. And then they gave me a growing program. But I cannot supply to Checkers or ShopRite if I don't have a pack house. Then I have to react very fast. That's when I started to put or to build a pack house and to put necessary things that they want in the pack house. So it was not easy for me. Yeah. So that is the challenges. Though we have a government that they help us, but they cannot help us with everything.
Absolutely. So looking at all the stuff that you've gone through now, I'm still on the issue of funding now.
Okay, yes.
I mean, you're a farmer, you're on the ground. What do you think is the solution for many of you guys' funding problems? It doesn't have to be the be-all and end-all. Because why I'm asking this, a lot of farmers say to me, the government's not doing enough. We need more money from, who are these guys? The land bank. But that's not always going to help everything, is it?
Exactly.
So what do you think needs to be done? Do you think there needs to be more partnerships with private companies? Or do you think, I don't know, bro, what do you think should happen?
There's a lot of challenges that even myself, when I apply from the government, I saw. In government, we have extension officers that they will come and visit the site. They know very well our challenges, those people. But sometimes when we tell them our challenges, like, let's talk about the funding, specific funding. Okay, you cannot fund me with like the person who's doing a backyard garden. So government, they must know their own people. They must be always on the side to know, okay, this farm, she's operating on 1,000 hectares. This farm, she's operating on, 25 hectares. So we cannot fund those people. The funding is not the same. They are not the same. So sometimes we just get one bag of fertilizer. But when I tell my extension officer that you gave me one bag of fertilizer, what am I going to do? They don't understand why Sophy is complaining like that. But for me, it doesn't serve the purpose. I cannot use one bag of fertilizers.
So basically, agriculture is not a one-size-fits-all. Yeah.
We still, they still have to come on the site and learn more from us. And also, though they are helping us, I think even us farmers, those who want to be farmers, they must be serious. They must take farming as a business.
They must come to the party.
They must come to the party, especially on the youth. What I'm seeing on the youth is once social media comes to them, they get so confused. They think they are already successful. Yeah. They forget that farming is a business. They have to invest. The little money that they got from the business, they have to invest back to the business. Yeah, so sometimes even the government officials, when they come and then we tell them this is what they are doing, they feel discouraged. Sophy, what is she really doing here? Because really they are helping us, but they cannot help us with everything. How many farmers in South Africa? And they have to help those people. Yes, we are facing a lot of challenges: electricity, water, so
input costs.
Yes. Labor. So you might find out even the government, when the money that it has been given to them to support the farmers, it was legal. So they have to divide among us who are in the agricultural sectors. So yeah.
So let's get back to you. How many people work for you?
Okay, it's at the moment now I've got 20 workers, but during, let's say, from November to May, I can have 45 workers.
Seasonal workers.
Yeah, seasonal. And then now, because I opened my new processing company, I'm going to hire about 25. So I think permanent, I'm going to have like 55 workers here somewhere there.
Ever since you got here, all I've been hearing is like, you were here, and then you're here, and then you just keep on elevating. How old are you, man? How old are you?
I'm 36. I'm 36 years old.
You are still a child, and yet you're just going up and up and up and up. First it's a processing plant, and then it's a pack house. You're well done on that.
Thank you.
So let's talk about the relationship you have with your workers. That is very, very important. So how is it? How are things going with your workers on your farm? Because for the fact that you are sitting here right now, which means that you can actually trust them to go on with the work, right?
That's true. I've got a very good relationship with my workers, and I don't take advantage that I'm a boss. I respect them. And once I saw the way I respect them, they also give it back to me. And because sometimes in farming, we become so busy. Clocking out, it's around 4 o'clock. But sometimes you're going to find that we harvest until 10 p.m. So if you don't support them and give them incentives, it becomes very challenging, and they feel like they are nothing. Always I motivate my workers. Let's say we knock off out around 10 p.m. I'm going to say, hey, you guys, you are tired. Just start tomorrow around 9. And then sleep, rest. Then they're going to come around 9, and then they're so happy. Sometimes small things, it makes different to our workers. I make sure they have breakfast when they come to work in the morning. Though I can see to give them lunch, it becomes so expensive to it. But the little things that I do to them, it makes them to appreciate. And that's why in that question they also ask me, Sophie, your workers, they are always wearing uniform to their need. I remember the Mediclinic company that I was working at. Uniform, just a uniform, it makes workers to feel good. it makes the workers to feel good. Even me, when I was in the work, I'm gonna like to go to work just because uniform, it makes me to feel better. So yeah,
it makes you part of a team.
Exactly. So because at the farm, most of people who are working for me are women. So they understand very well. They've got that sympathy.
Speaking of which, it is Women's Month. So it's a good thing you actually mentioned that. Why do you have most people working in your farm? Why did you choose particularly ladies?
If you can think about back then, I mean the old time, the time of our mothers and fathers, women, they were known by doing a small gardens, and they can handle vegetables very well. You can see even my partner, when I ask him to cut a tomato, he's just cha-cha-cha-cha, then it's done. But women, when they do things, especially in the vegetables or gardens, they've got this thing of handling vegetables very well. But back then, you know, our mothers, they're going to be looking after the garden, and our fathers, they're going to be hunting.
True.
So even on the harvesting here, when they're harvesting green beans, I can see already there's a different. There it's like, if it's a line of men passes there, you can see like, you will think there's a harvesting machine.
So everything is just
a mess. The green beans, it's on the floor.
Yeah,
but where the women harvest, you can even start again to harvest.
Okay, so you guys have a softer hand.
It's very...
Oh, okay. And speaking of Women's Month, I mean, you are a young lady. You are a young black lady in South Africa. So you must have had a few challenges in the agri sector. Like, let's say, for access to markets. When you walked into, let's say, a Checkers or at the offices of a Checkers and say, hey, guys, I've got these things. Did they take you seriously, or how was that like? I'm just making an example when it comes to Checkers. Access to markets as a young black female. How is that for you?
Hey, I think here in South Africa, women, they are not taken serious everywhere we go. Those are the kind of challenges that we are getting as women. But because we are doing it better, they end up not having choice. Sometimes I go, I'm talking about something that it's happening. I can even show you in my phone. There's a company that I went to, and I told them that this is what I do. I've got this farm around in Joburg, and I also a farm in Limpopo. And then he didn't take me serious that day. But last week, I was so surprised. He said, Sophie, I'm hearing that you are the only person who's having baby marrow. Can you help me? Then I said, I told you that I don't just grow because I don't want to lose, especially when I'm growing in Limpopo. I have a growing program. So for you, we have to plan for next year, not this year. And he's still coming. Sophie, can you give me something? Can you give me something? I can't. So we were not taking serious. The men, they don't take us seriously. And then sometimes you'll see in my videos doing the land preparation, even if I hire the men, because tractors, they were driven by men. When I hired a man, then I tell the men that, please don't do that. They feel like we are undermining them because they are men, you see. So that's why I do things on my own. I do land preparation on my own.
I saw the video of you on the tractor doing land prep. I was like, yo, big up.
So you don't get it. Sometimes I'm going to say, we've got a spraying program around 10 p.m. You don't understand why you have to drive a tractor at 10 p.m. Because some of the pests, they come at night. When you explain, it's like, wafan. So it's not the same. There's a pest that there's a pest that they only come at night. During the day, they go under the ground. So we need to spray. So you don't get it, and you feel like I'm undermining you when we said we have to work at night. Yeah. So those are the challenges that we are.
Yeah, that's why you are farming and I'm sitting here.
Yeah.
I do not want to go through all that.
No, and we are still going to be more
And another
female
thing,
farmers.
exactly. And another thing I like about you is that you look after your workers so well. Can I send my CV? Because I also want breakfast every morning.
Yes, yes, oh yes. Yeah.
Let's talk about your expansion plans, because outside you were telling me you want to expand. So why do you want to go into processing per se?
Okay, what I've seen here in South Africa, the food is becoming more expensive because of the middlemen. So I want to cut that thing. That's why we want, I want my South African people to concentrate on other things, not to concentrate on food. If you are looking at our friend on our neighboring country, they are not coming to come and see our beauty in South Africa. It's because of hunger. Hunger, it makes you to travel places. So if the food here in South Africa is going to be very expensive, then we are not looking on developing the country in other things. We need a lot of things here in South Africa to be done. But I don't want the government to concentrate on the agricultural side only. If the agricultural is sorted, I'm telling you, South Africa is going to be Dubai or America. Yeah. So I'm looking on producing more food and making food cheaper. There's a companies that they are not farmers at all. They are going to buy vegetables from the market, and they bring it to their company. They process it. They have to pay for the building. They have to pay for the electricity. They have to pay for the water. They have to pay for the workers. How much do you think they're gonna charge the vegetables? It's going to be very expensive.
They're going to overcharge, yeah.
Yes, they're going to overcharge.
Because they have overheads to cover.
Yeah, that's why now I'm putting value in my crops, harvest and processing it. Because I don't want South Africans to concentrate on peeling every day when you come back from work. You must just go to the shelf and buy and you go and cook. Yeah, so that's why now I'm opening the processing sectors. And I'm telling you, by doing that, I started last week. Actually, my first shop I started on the Women's Day.
Okay.
Women's Day, yes. On the 9th, yes. Then I was taking my produce to the shops. That day, if you check on my Facebook pages, there's a people who said, Sophie, it's like we can eat your vegetables on Facebook. So we want you to come to, we've got 11 stores that we want to do a business with you. So from that day, now I'm getting messages nonstop. That means my dream now it's working. It's like I'm going to be supply vegetables national.
Sophie, sitting here and listening to you, I'm actually inspired now.
Thank you.
I'm not going to plant anything. That's not going to happen. But I'm inspired because what you're doing, you're not just farming for yourself. You're actually farming and producing food for the nation.
Yeah, for the nation.
It goes back to that thing of women, ladies, you guys have a softer hand. I can see that soft hand in you where you're like, you know what, I'm producing this food because people need to eat.
Yes, people need to eat, and every day, and a proper meal. They must have a proper breakfast, proper lunch, and proper supper. They must not eat what is there because there's nothing they can do. No.
I mean, it goes back to your nursing days where you said a lot of diseases could have been prevented because of diet.
Yes.
So that's basically what gave you the gees to actually do what you do.
Yes. So that's why you find out people, they want to buy something that is cheap. So if it's not usually the way the economy is now. Food that is very cheap, it's a food that is not nice.
Yeah, and it's not healthy.
It's not healthy. So I don't want our people to live like that. No, each and every South Africans must eat proper diet. Because if we are not eating a proper diet, that's why there's a lot of patients in the hospital. But if we are eating right, we are not going to have a problem. It's difficult for you to eat a proper breakfast with the eggs, bacon in it, and lettuce. It's very difficult now.
Because it's expensive.
Yeah, it's expensive. To eat proper breakfast now, I think you must spend about like, I don't know, 200 or 150.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's true. So
What about lunch?
That's the thing. What about lunch?
Yeah.
That's why, I'm not throwing shade on anybody. But this thing of amagwenya,
every morning because
bruh.
it's 2 rand and it's 1 rand, it's 3 rand. No. But there's nothing they can do because food is very expensive. And it's becoming so expensive because we are not doing it right as agriculture people. So we need more youth who take agriculture serious. And once they started to produce, please, my youth, they must not celebrate too early. They must not steal from their business. They must invest back to the business. That's when they're going to see themselves into growing. The problem, I've got a lot of youth that I give them a mentorship. But sometimes I end up backsliding because things that I'm going to tell them to do, they're not doing it. You cannot get 40,000 and then you want to be on eating breakfast at the Ama Hotel each and every weekend you are partying with the profit that you got from the field. It doesn't work like that. If you really want to be a successful farmer, don't steal from the business.
Invest in
the business.
That's some hardcore words there, but it's the truth. It is the truth. I was with a lady the other day, her name is Ipiling, and she showed me pictures on her phone of some of the people young people that she mentors.
Yes.
With like Zamalek in the back of a khaki.
Yes, and I like Ipiling. Ipiling, she's a young girl and she's very dedicated. If you can see Ipiling, all the time she's always at the side. You're going to say, I saw even she posted her cow was disabled. Then I said, oh, don't complain. Take it as a blessing.
Oh, yeah, no, that sounds like it.
Yeah, so she's always on the side. I like her very much. And it's the people that I like to see them doing something that it's good like that. She's very focused and she's a hardworking person.
So basically, that's actually what you would like for the youth to be.
Yes.
Focused?
They must be they must focus and be hardworking, and they must not celebrate too early. And I'm not saying you must not have friends, but if you want to be successful in farming, your friends must be limited. Because if you can check myself, even when I started, my circle, I make sure my circle is very limited. Because once you have more friends, you're going to have peer pressure and they're going to make you to divert. Remember, the friends, they need to be fed. Once you said, I'm not going there because 1, 2, 3, was jela. I don't like chomi myself, no. Because if I feel like I work so hard and I want to sleep the whole day, it must be like that. I wanted to cancel this podcast this morning.
Why?
I sent you a message and then you said you are not going to be available.
Yes,
you remember.
Wanted to move it to another day. No.
I wanted to move it to another day.
Just like you, I'm also a go-getter. No.
You know why? Why I was cancelling for today?
Why?
Because when I checked my calendar today, it was a spraying program.
Oh my goodness. So I'm stopping you from spraying. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I didn't know.
So that's why even some media, when I said I'm not around, they don't get it. What I've seen, yes, media, they are doing very good job, but they must not make us to forget.
Exactly. I can't stop you from doing your job.
Exactly.
Even though technically I am, but I'm so sorry about that.
It's just that myself, I have the money that I can come to travel to here. But if that 400 that I use or 500 to put a diesel to come here, to put a petrol, but it's the money that I was going to buy pesticides or I was going to say no because I don't have money.
Which is understandable because at the end of the day, you are a business person.
Exactly. That's how I take my business so serious. I don't steal from my business. But what I'm trying to be clear on you, or the youth, when the media comes to them, they feel like they are already a successful farmer, they are commercial. And they are the ones who knows the reality. In the pocket, it's empty. So they started to change even the lifestyle to maintain what the media was saying to them. You get what I'm saying? It's like now I'm here. When people sees me, they think like, Sophy, she's got a lot of money. You get what I'm saying?
Correct. I understand.
Though I'm the one who knows the truth, I have no money. So they must always remember that. They must not change the way they are, or they must not change.
So like, basically keep your feet on the ground.
Always invest back. Even if the media, they are doing very good job to uplift you. But I'm the one who knows, I'm not there where they are putting me.
Sophy, first of all, thank you for agreeing to come here. After me convincing you the whole morning, thank you for agreeing to come here.
Thank you.
This was actually quite a nice experience. I'm not going to lie. I learned a lot also. You know. Second of all, good luck to your endeavors. I'm going to actually speak to my people. I want to come to the site. I want to come to the site and do a small interview with you there so that people can see what you're talking about. And third of all, I actually take my hat off to you because you are still a young person and yet you have this role of, you know, you are a mother, you are a boss, and you are also a farmer. You know, so thank you so much for coming through here. Lastly, from your side, what is your dream? Because you already said it, but what is your dream for the agricultural sector of South Africa?
My dream is to see more youth taking agricultural serious. Because if we get more youth, our life depends on new and youth. Because youth are the ones who's gonna make the nation or South Africans to be successful. Because we really need more agricultural people. And again, my dreams is to see the food not expensive in South Africa.
Thank you so much, Sophy. And thank you guys for coming through to Ama Fama. You know, one thing I appreciate about this whole space is that we bring you individuals that not only inspire you, but individuals that also give you hope. Thank you so much for coming through to Ama Fama. Oh, by the way, I see that our podcast pages are popping. The one on TikTok, that is, it is popping. But please, guys, do the same. Go to our Facebook page, go to our YouTube, and go to Instagram and support us. Thank you so much for coming through. I'm Tabi Muritwani. Shap shap.